Good morning. My name is Angie, and I am president of the board of directors for the Amani Center and a practitioner. And this morning I will be leading our 1010 pre-service meditation. Welcome. Today we'll be working on cyclical breathing, bringing in the very breath of life, so that it may nourish and feed every cell and organ and system of our being. And we bring that in great ease and grace as we practice this cyclical breathing process. Today, we will breathe in the cycle of 5 breaths. 5 breaths in, holding for five to the count of 5, releasing to the count of 5, and carrying to the count of 5. Let us begin. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out and letting go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Releasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And carrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue to breathe in this way throughout your meditation. Enjoy your meditation. Remembering to breathe. And staying in this energy for just a few moments longer, being in gratitude for our ability to simply breathe. So important to our body and to our mind and our sense of well-being. We can calm ourselves anytime with breathing, this simple breathing pattern, this breathing technique that can calm you and nourish you at any moment you choose. So remember that you have this as a tool and you can pull it out anytime that you may need it. Thank you so much for being here today and enjoy the service.
Good morning, Amani. Welcome to our Sunday morning experience. That was a nice little gong bath. I hope you felt that where you were. We felt it in the room for sure. So, welcome to Amani, and now it's time for our band Ascension to bring us in with Testify.
All the colors of the rainbow, all the voices in the wind, every dream that reaches out to find where love begins. Every word of every story, every star in every sky, every corner of creation lives to testify. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. From the mountains to the valleys, from the rivers to the stream, every hand that reaches out, every hand that reaches out to offer peace. Oh, every simple act of mercy, every step the kingdom comes, every corner and every heart speaks what love has done. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. For as long as I shall live, I will testify to love. Be a witness in the silence when the words are not enough. With every breath I take, I give thanks to God within. For as long as I shall live, I will testify. I will testify to love.
Always a beautiful way to bring us into our space, to our center, and to our physical and spiritual center as well within us. So, welcome, Amani. Glad you're here. We are here in the space. And for those of you joining us out in the internet, welcome to our service. So, we want to talk about our center. So we are a spiritual community, and our theme for the month is this. It is, yes to joy. We know that children start with joy. We are born into joy, and then life kind of sadly can chip that away. And so let's kind of tap into that inner child of ours. We've brought back our children's program, so we're very happy. Last week we had a beautiful event and potluck afterwards, so bringing our children in. So let's keep them in that joy, and let's rediscover that within ourselves. So are we going to do our vision statement? Okay, so now we're moving to our vision statement. So those of you at home and those of you here, please read it with me. Okay, ready? Let's read it together. We are an enlightened celestial community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming lives. And we do that in so many beautiful ways. We do that with our circle of light. So if you are here, so we love to bring our tree. Okay, let me start that over. Okay, so there are many of us here who have gone through some beautiful classes and beautiful training, and we would love to do treatment with you or affirmative prayer. So those of you who are in the house, raise your hand if you're available for some. I've already talked to one of the practitioners. I'm getting some treatment afterwards. And let me give you a little secret. When we do treatment for you, we do it for ourselves as well. We completely benefit for that because as we give, we receive. And so please allow us to share this gift with you. So if you are working through stuff, and it doesn't have to be anything that you are trying to get rid of. I'm manifesting a house. So that's a treatment I'm getting today. So, so manifesting good things, manifesting, bringing beautiful things into your life, bringing, prosperity, abundance, a home, a new adventure. So it doesn't have to be, and also it can be healing and moving through things. So please, please reach out to any of those folks that raised their hands. And so we are here for and with you. So let us do that. And now I think it's time for our announcements. I'm going to have Marcy come up here and do that for us.
Thank you, Yuli. Okay, we got a lot of stuff on here today. So here is our schedule for the month of August. So we have the wonderful Reverend Pixie Dufour speaking today. And then next week we'll have ministerial intern Mitch Austin, followed by the last Sunday our live stream only virtual service with Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson from Baltimore and special musical guest Amy Bishop from Canada. And so they are, oops, go back one and then click through it. Sometimes I play with the, anyway, that's a picture of Dr. Raymond Anderson and Amy Bishop. I can see them. They're so beautiful. And there they go, yay. So they'll be here on the last Sunday virtually, so make sure you tune in for that. We also open the space up for anyone who wants to come watch it on the big screen with us, and we do that in community as well. And hey, our website is live. I cannot tell you what a journey this has been, from one website to another that we just couldn't quite manage, and then to bring this new one online, the AmaniCenter.org. As of this morning, it's live. There's still a few little tweaks here and there, but it's so pretty, and thank you to everyone, to Steve and to Dara and all the people who worked to get it together. I'm really excited about it. So you will be able to go there and get information about what's going on. You can sign up for the newsletter, you can meet the team, you'll see pictures of all the ministers and the practitioners and the band and all the people who come together to bring the Amani Center to life. So it's check it out. It's really beautiful, and thank you to everyone for sticking with us on that. So last week we put up this slide asking for a bookstore manager, and we got the wonderful Ayana, who is here today. She's outside. I'm waving to you, Ayana. Thank you so much. She stepped up, and we could still use someone else to help her. So especially if you have some retail experience, if you'd like to get involved in sort of revamping and getting everything organized, and then kind of taking the bookstore / gift store into the next iteration, whatever that's going to be, so that it can be a place where people find great things, and we support the center. So if that's you, you can email us at admin@theamanicenter.org, or talk to me afterwards, or talk to Ayana afterwards if you're here. Okay, we got another patio hang coming up for August. It will be Friday, August 27th from 6 to 8. So I see some of our patio hang crew here. We always have a good time, whether we're doing karaoke or open mic or just hanging out and talking story. It's always fun. So show up for that. We've got misters. We bring potluck. Everyone just brings stuff, and we always have just a great amount of food and drink to share and be in community. And then I'm very, very happy to announce Hands and Hooves Teen Event. So Hands and Hooves is a local nonprofit started by our own Julie, Schultz, thank you. And she's here doing sound 1 to 2 weeks a month. She's been with the center forever, and she has this gorgeous ranch with her wife Mary out in Pollock Pines called the Painted Sky Serenity Ranch. So she and some other wonderful Amani ministers and members like Reverend Sherry and Pat Sousa have come together to create this program for kids and teens to get them with the horses, caring for the horses, doing some just amazing work out there on the ranch. And so she is offering a Saturday in September, the 25th, from 10 to 4 to our Amani teens. So, and then what we hope to do is then in October is have that same offering for the kids. So if you're a teen or you know a teen who would love to do this, it's free. It's all being subsidized by other organizations, which is awesome. The kids who've been through this are just lifted. They're raised. They're loving it. They can't stop talking about it. I know Gabby's kids came through and just were really loving it, and Jocelyn. So lots of the kids have done this, and it's amazing. So there is a link that I think Kristen's going to be able to drop. If not, we will drop it on the website or on the on the website and on our Facebook, and you can talk to me. I can send it to you to sign up for this. It'll direct you right to her platform where you sign up. So do take advantage of this. This is an amazing opportunity. And so we've got some changes at Amani. I know some people get scared by that. I love change. Like, we've had a lot of change around here, and it's all been lifting and going up. So especially with the pandemic, you know, we released our one part-time employee, and the board and I kind of stepped in to do a lot of things around here on a volunteer basis. And so I stepped into this center director position, which has been wonderful, and I've loved doing it, and it's a lot. With everything else. And I've got some other things that are opening up for me. So we have been looking for someone to kind of step into that position. And I'm not leaving. Still going to be here doing my thing, but just there will be more people here doing more things. And so we found someone wonderful and perfect, and he's in the room right now, and his name is Mitch Austin. Woo! We knew Mitch was the right person, and things were shifting in his life so that he could step into this on a part-time basis, and we know that it's going to grow, and so he and I are going to work together to be able for me to hand some stuff off to him. And then he has just these amazing skills and experience for really visioning and a big picture and really taking us into this next iteration of growth. So I'm so grateful for that, and grateful to have Mitch here, and grateful to all of you for sticking with us as we kind of work through all these stages. So another thing that Mitch is going to be doing, and you heard about it a few weeks ago, is his amazing Rise and Speak program. And so I'm going to ask Mitch to come up and talk a little bit about that. It'll be starting in September. You could just use that mic.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Marcy. And you know what? I would have never stepped into this center thing without a Marcy. Yes. So grateful for her and everybody that contributes to this center. So Rise and Speak, I started a few years ago, and it really, you know, it just evolved organically. It was this vision I had for 5 years, and I finally did it, and it just took off. And it's all about looking at your life path. And, you know, I always say it's taking your mess and making it your message. And so we journey for 8 weeks looking at your life through the lens of where's the lesson and blessing been. Then we put together a message that you get to deliver to a live audience. And it is a powerful healing journey. And in fact, there's this quote from Brene Brown I want to share with you that kind of sums it up. And she says, "One day you will tell your story of how you overcame, what you went through, and it will be somebody else's survival guide." Don't let that story die within you. Come join us in the class. It's limited to 9 people, and I walk you through it all. Even outside of class, you need to meet with me, I'm there. So you're fully supported. It's an amazing journey, and I think we're going to drop a link for registration. I hope you can join me. Thank you so much.
Woohoo! We've been trying to schedule this one for a while, so now, in perfect timing, it is happening. So yeah, jump on that. Limited seating for that, or limited space. And now I'm going to take a moment to bring up Charlie McDonald from the upper room. He is our recipient of giving from last month, so he's going to come up and talk just a little bit about what they're doing at the upper room.
Thank you. Always an honor to speak and meet new people. Yeah. Usually find this is easier now. Took a while to get used to mics. I'm not a public speaker. This isn't my talent, my gift, and I'm always uncomfortable in front of groups, but I am getting better. My name's Charlie McDonald. I'm the executive director of the Upper Room Dining Hall in Placerville. Have we heard of Upper Room? All right. So sometimes I walk into groups and who are you? What do you do? Everybody's very familiar with what we do. And it kind of determines how bad past our story I go. We've been in existence feeding hungry people for 19 years. It was started by St. Patrick's Catholic Church. And 7 years ago, we separated from St. Patrick's, became our own independent, self-governing, self-funding 501c3. I was appointed director 3.5 years ago. They brought me in to change the direction that they were headed. They were not in a good place. They wanted more grace, more mercy. It wasn't just about the food; it's about relationships and meeting people where they're at. And that was what I've been doing at Green Valley Church for 8 years prior to that. So the Catholics hired a Protestant to run the program. It's been an experience, but it's the best job I ever had. We provide, through COVID, we were providing 10,000 meals a month. It doubled from what we normally, 5,000, 55, high as 7,000 maybe. But during COVID, we reached 11,000, a little over 11,000 in 1 month. So there was a need. The numbers have dropped back down. The homeless people up on Upper Broadway have all got their unemployment money, and they don't need our food right now. They'll be back when it runs out here pretty soon. It wasn't. I don't think it was smart to give people with addictions $3,800 a month where they have a history of making bad decisions, and that's what they did. It put them all over the hill. So when I came on board, we improved our meals, replaced a lot of the volunteers, and made it about service. We provide meals at the table. It's not a cafeteria style. We serve 5-course meals: soup, salad, main course, desserts, coffee, water, juice at their tables. And they can have as much as they want, and they're free to come in and relax. We open up as a warming room, cooling room in the mornings. And it's a part about being social. It's one place that they can come in and actually exhale. People call homeless people lazy. There's nothing lazy about surviving out there. Nothing. You have to. It's be able to come in and actually relax and take your guard down is huge for these people. So that's what we do. We are partnering with the city and the county to provide sheltering. It's a program in development. There's an announcement coming next week. I can't speak out of it yet, but there's finally some breakthrough with the county. It's one of the last counties behind in the state that's actually have not had a shelter for the homeless, and they didn't want one, and now they had to. They can't get around it. It's a growing problem. It's not going away, and I think they're finally addressing it, and we're looking to add to that and help people out. Yes. Do we do questions? I believe the city council meeting next Tuesday. I can tell you because it was put. If you look at the agenda, it'll tell you. They have appointed 8 acres next to the county jail as a homeless camp. It's a tent camp. Their motivation behind that, I question, because the homeless have been a problem on Upper Broadway. If you ever get up that far up, it's a problem. There's a lot of blight up there. And there's a huge fear of fires up there. Last week we had 2 fires started by the homeless that just put everybody in a panic up there. Oh, there goes my thought. Yeah. Up on the hill, yeah, thank you. And they can't remove the people. They can't remove the campers. And it's even down here. I know you got them down here in Cameron Park, behind Bel Air, and they're around. So They can't do anything with them until they have a shelter that they can say, here's a shelter, go here. Now they have that. And now they can arrest them and remove them from the camps and from private property and public property. Not providing services, they're just saying, here's a place and it's safe, and that's a plus. So we're hoping to build on that, to provide services and wraparound services, navigation services, help them get back on their feet, and offer them some hope. So, thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay, and so now we're going to bring Yuli back up to bless the service.
So, that was very moving. Thank you for what you're doing at the upper room. It's beautiful work. And we're blessed to be part of the answer to a lot of our social and cultural and issues. And anyway, I could ramble. So it's time for us to come into ourselves, to take this time in this service to go deep within, knowing that we are here by divine appointment. We are Christ consciousness expressing, becoming, expanding. We know that this place, this sanctuary, this beautiful spot we have here in Cameron Park is not the only place where people come together, but it is a very beautiful and sacred space. And the energy that comes into this space, we know expands out and touches so many people. We are blessed for all the messages that we are going to hear today. We are grateful because we know that we will hear exactly what we need to hear today. From our meditation to our blessings to our speaker, and from each other as we interact afterwards, as we engage, and as we are in this space, we know that our souls are uplifted. We know that we experience this palpably. We experience this in our bodies, minds, and spirits. We are grateful for everyone who is here today because we are all part of that oneness. That spiritual connection is vital and essential to who we are as individuals and who we are as people in this great, beautiful Gaia planet we live on. Being grateful, I release these words knowing that the blessing touches each and every one of us in the way that is individual to us. In full expression of spirit, I let these words go knowing it is done. And together we say, and so it is. And now Tammy for our affirmation.
Hi, I'm Tammy, and I'm one of the practitioners here at the Amani Center, and we will be saying our affirmation of the day 3 times. The first time will be with conviction and vigor and excitement. The second time will be in a whisper to bring it in our hearts. And then please follow me mentally, silently. And if you would please stand. And our affirmation today comes from our very own Reverend Pixie Dufour. The child within me is self-existent and eternal. I simply let that childlike joy flow through my every breath. The child within me is self-existent and external. I simply let that childlike joy flow through my every breath. The child within me is self-existent and eternal. I simply let that childlike joy flow through my every breath. Thank you. Please be seated.
You are the heart, you are the hands, of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. Oh, you're a blessing to the world. I am a blessing to the world.
And as we stay in this calming sense with our beautiful ascension, I invite you to close your eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice. Just take a deep breath in and out. Just letting the day relax, knowing that you are loved and supported in a safe space. And imagine you are a child sitting on your bedroom floor, beautiful, comfortable rug. There's a table in front of you. And you open up your favorite coloring book. And in your favorite coloring book, there might be train or the word blessed, maybe a bouquet of flowers, teddy bear, whatever image resonates with you as a child. Favorite stuffed toy, mac and cheese on a Saturday rainy day. And as you reach over and pick up a color, it's your favorite color, blue or pink or yellow, and you start coloring in this coloring book, whatever that is for you. Your innocence is pure. There's joy in what you're doing. You're listening to Winnie the Pooh on CD. Kids playing outside. Sprinklers going. And you can talk to your inner child, knowing that this child is protected and loved and safe. And just enjoy the moment of not having to pay bills or do grocery shopping or laundry, and just enjoy being a kid for just a moment, not having to worry about anything, knowing that you are safe, loved, and protected. Enjoy your meditation. And as you're sitting there on your bedroom floor, you see yourself growing up. And you can bring to mind someone who is in need of healing. Maybe they need a job, their health isn't great, they need food on the table, or they just need a smile. Knowing that they are whole, perfect, and complete, knowing that their body knows what to do, the universe can help them. You are a beacon of light to whatever anybody needs from you. Love, support, help, directing them to a resource. Maybe just making them a meal, waving to your neighbor, bringing in some trash cans. Whatever it is for you. Maybe you need healing for yourself. Are you okay? Is your heart broken? Is your mind doing the monkey mind thing? Knowing that this light wraps around your heart, wraps around your mind, wraps around you like a warm blanket. And you are not alone. I release this treatment into the law, knowing that we are whole, perfect, and complete. All those that we love are whole, perfect, and complete, and are safe and protected and healed right now. Together we say, and so it is.
Morning. I need some snapping of fingers, if you wouldn't mind helping us out. Not the beatnik way. Just keep a little time with me. Open up my eyes to daylight in my new city, where maybe I will wander too far away from where I started. Open up my heart and break her. No gentle waters, no anchor. I'm barely brave enough to keep breathing, but I believe in love. There is enough. So ask for more to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you fight for, what you live for? I want more love. In the dead of the dark, in the hard times, on broken branches and lifelines, remember, it's all a game, a grand design that you can't tame. Open up my eyes and cry them, mourn your child, your innocence, then turn around and face this playground and come with, there is enough. So ask for more to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you live for, what you love for? I want more love, there is enough. So ask for more to fill you up. Nobody's keeping score. Do you know what you live for, what you love for? I want more of me, more of you, more wandering into night skies from the sunrise side view, more deep breaths, more exhales, more wandering off the road toward my story to tell. It's my story to tell, for my story to tell. There is more love.
So perfect. Thank you, Ascension. We all want more love, and that's one of the things that we find here through all our just experiences together. There's just, if you could be here, I mean, those of you who are joining us, you hopefully have been in the space. There's a lot of love in this space, so we are all just so blessed. Excuse me. It is my deep honor to introduce our speaker today. She is just this vibrant, beautiful, full of life soul that always, always inspires and lifts my heart. And I think we all agree that that's the case with Reverend Pixie DeFur.
I went to sit in my little chair here not too long ago. There wasn't anybody in the room. So now we have people in the room. Thank you all so much for being here. I want to thank the crew, the musicians, the setup, the breakdown, the food people, the people that are on sound system, dropping links. There's a lot of stuff that goes on here at the Amani Center that a lot of people don't see. They don't know really what happens here before and after we have these services. So I hope that today that you will be able to take with you whatever it is that you need to take with you through any of that, through the song, through the words, the meditations, whatnot. Please feel free to take whatever it is that means something to you. So as usual, I'd like you guys all to bubble up. You're going to bubble up, and that means that whatever you came with today doesn't have to be part of what you're going to do today during this service. And what you're going to do is you're going to think about you. You. This is your time with Spirit. I want you to place yourself in an imaginary bubble, luminescent. Those little things we used to blow when we were kids, we would blow the bubbles and they get big. Put yourself in the middle of one of those. And any worries, fears, upsets, sadnesses, hurt, anything that you came in with, what's for dinner, what am I going to do when I get out of here today? Just simply imagine picking those up and putting them on the outside of your bubble, because now I have you for the next, I'm going to guess 30 minutes, maybe not, but I have you for a little while, and this is your time with Spirit, your time to figure out whatever it is that means to you and what you need to take with you. So today my talk is what the mystics taught. And I truly believe, and Yuli already said it earlier this morning, that we were born with joy. We were born as a mystic, already so close to that divine one, that spirit, that Father, Mother, God, whatever it is you choose to call it. Sometimes I say God, sometimes I say universe, sometimes I say spirit, and sometimes I say it. Whatever works for you, if whatever I'm saying doesn't work for you, you just replace it with the universal whatever it is that you got going on in your life. But we were born, I think, mystics. In the very beginning, we were pure light and of that divine presence. We had the infinite possibilities of our soul at that very moment open to us in life for what was going to be coming down the chute for us. Now, we've talked about this before, that journey where we start out as that beautiful, divine, perfect essence, and then we go through life and all the junk happens, and then we get out over here and we decide that we need to be back where we were, that beautiful essence. We need to recognize that that's within us. So then we have to undo all the stuff that we did getting through life to this place. Kind of crazy. Finally, getting back to that mystical child means sensing the pleasures of pure joy. Sensing and tapping back into the wholeness of our divine being. Joy, just like being born a mystic child, we're all born with it. And some of us, maybe we feel like we lose it along the way somewhere. I've had the opportunity to work with a few people that have been in that space of nil and void, where I don't feel joy anymore. I don't feel happy anymore. I don't have anything to be joyful for or happy about. Maybe I don't even feel sad anymore. I just don't feel. Anybody out there have done that? I know that I have a good period of life where I sat and I wondered, man, what's this all about? But you know what? The good thing about that is we don't lose that childlike joy. It just gets covered up with all the junk. There's some of us that never let it go. When I was a kid, I had this wonderful aunt. She was this little tiny Greek thing, only she was skinny, but she was wonderful. I loved her. And we would go walking into her house. And in one hand, she'd have a bourbon. And in the other hand, she had a cigarette. And she had this big red lipstick on her lips. And I knew that was going to be all over my face before I knew it. But she was fun. And she was happy. And she was joyful. And when I was in her presence, I felt fun. I felt loved. I felt happy. I thought, this lady's a kick. And when I grow up, that's the way I want to present myself to other people. I want them to feel happy. I want them to feel that joy that they are, just like my aunt is making me feel. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, and I've been told that, but that's just the way I am, and I'm glad to have had that experience. Just because we're spiritual does not mean we are not any fun, right? Can I get an amen? Amen. Hallelujah. Yes. We got a fun group here today. I love that. You go. Woohoo. So there is a Zen proverb. I don't know. I think maybe y'all have heard it. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, right? After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. That's right. And why is that? Because the enlightenment happens within us. It happens inside of who we are. This is where that happens. So before that, we're chopping wood, we're carrying water, we're going about life on this regular daily basis. And then after enlightenment, I still got to get in the car. I still got to go to work. I still got to take care of the kids. I still got to do laundry. I still got to do whatever it is that I do on a daily basis. But maybe, just possibly, we do it with a different perception, looking at things a little bit differently than when we were over here just doing this stuff every day because that's what I got to do. This gives it more meaning. And meaning is a big tag word right now. It is a big jargon word. We need to have meaning with what it is that we do. You know, we work so hard to do our best in life. We work so hard. And sometimes life just gets in the way. It's hard sometimes. We are here in a New Thought church because we're searching for something. And that something we're searching for is inside of us already. Only sometimes we don't know that that's what it is when we start looking for it. Maybe other philosophies haven't worked for us. Maybe we want to know, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? Is this life it? I'm going to live here 100 years and then poof, I go back to dirt? Is that it? Is that all there is? Do I think that's all there is? Heck no, I don't. And because I've had this philosophy, well, I'm going to say most of my life, it gave me a head start. Yeah. So what is a mystic? What is a mystic? What do we think about when we think of a mystic? Do we think of Harry Houdini with the turban and the crystal balls and the seances? Well, yeah, maybe they could have been. Maybe they could have been. A mystic, Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, and the Science of Mind textbook tells us on page 327, first paragraph, that a mystic is actually one who has a deep inner sense of life and a unity with the whole, a deep sense of inner life and a unity with the whole. What is the whole? What is the whole? Everything, God, spirit, universe, love, light, peace, power, joy. It is the whole, that one supreme essence that we are all part of. Yeah. Mysticism is a recognition of one's own divinity, our own divinity. Truth is the only reality for a mystic. A mystical prayer is a place of deepening our love as well as silence and peace. Joel Goldsmith. Anybody remember Joel Goldsmith? Master metaphysician. Yes, he was. Tremendous healer. I believe that he worked with Ernest Holmes for quite a while as well. He was a writer. He was a mystic. I will consider him a mystic. Um, and he was also the founder of the Infinite Way. And he would go into prayer. And this will make sense in a little bit. I'll tell a little bit more about it. But he would go into prayer and he would ask the question and he would just sit with it. He would sit with it 5 minutes, 2 hours. He would sit with it until he received an answer with that inner ear and that inner knowingness. There is nothing mysterious in the truth as we teach it. Things will seem mysterious in life until we understand them. When they are misunderstood, they are mysterious. Like this whole COVID wahoo that had come down the line the last year and a half, right? We didn't understand it. We were all grounded to our houses, right? To think about what we'd done. We didn't know. Is the world going to end tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Are we all going to die of this mysterious disease? Nobody knew. Nobody understood it. But we understand it a little bit more now. When we don't understand things, what happens? What does that put us into? Fear. What do we say about fear? Ooh, it's no good. It's no good because it messes us up in life. Fear is the one thing that we want to kick out. A mystic is one who senses the atmosphere of God. Okay, y'all listen to this one, who's been taking their practitioner classes. A mystic is one who senses the atmosphere of God and intuitively perceives the truth without going through a mental process to arrive at a spiritual realization. What is that mental process we use to get at a spiritual realization? Spiritual mind treatment. Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Okay, spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, 5-step affirmative prayer. That's what we use. And they go immediately to it without going through those 5 steps. Many of the very old and wise ones have all come across the very same truths. We were talking about this in class just a couple weeks ago because they speak the language. It is through those mystics that the universe reveals itself. We only know about God or spirit by what we've been told. Is that true? So we have been told, I believe, by the mighty mystics throughout history. Many poets, philosophers, old prophets, and composers were mystics. Do you believe that? Yeah. Some of history's most influential mystics have had a massive impact with some of us. Some not so much. It is common for notable mystics in history to begin their spiritual journey in a mainstream faith, only to start their own movement after having their own major revelations. So what does that do? When they start, we all start, well, most of us, in a mainstream faith. But what does that do? That opens the door, does it not? It opens the door for us to let the light in. That's where we begin. Some of the famous mystics started out as monks or nuns or clergy or regular old folk, right? There is no roadmap for the life of a mystic. Some have strict disciplines, come up empty-handed. Others report success after just a few haphazard attempts to reach the divine. Some historically important mystics have had disciples. Some have had none. The one thing that we have in common with all of those mystics, the only thing that lines up with them, because we have mystics that are from different centuries. We have mystics that are male or female. We have them from mainstream faith, different faiths. None of them are the same, different areas of the world, but they all come forward with the same truth, the same thing from different people at different times. Because there is, how many truths are there? That's my husband. That was good. One. Or was that Jeremy? Sorry. Not my husband. All right. The mystics didn't argue with anyone. They saw and they knew. So, what are some examples of the mystics? I wanted to give you some mystics to go home with. And we already talked about Joel Goldsmith. I truly believe that Ernest Holmes was a mystic. Absolutely. We were talking in class about mystics the other night. Marianne Williamson came up. Yeah? And, oh, my favorite. Yeah, Carolyn Miss, so much my favorite. Yes, I couldn't remember her name. Yes, Carolyn Miss. I do believe, man, she's hardcore. But do I think she's got it going on? I absolutely do. Dr. Wayne Dyer. All right, we got anybody else? Catherine Brenson. Yeah, bless her heart. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. And Deepak. Deepak's another one. What do you got? Jesus Christ, and we're getting there, baby. What do you got, Gina? Christ, Lord. Yep. Hallelujah. Amen. Buddha. Gandhi. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So y'all know your mystics, don't you? What is that one thing that they're looking for? What is it that they find? It's that deep presence of spirit within, without having to go look for it, because it's already here. And it's the same thing with each and every one of us. We don't have to look for it out there. It's right where we are. So how about this one? I'm going to throw this out to you. How about Jalal, al-Din, Muhammad, Rumi? Rumi, yeah. What you seek is seeking you. All right, so he said that 13th century poet he was, 13th century. What you seek is seeking you. What do we call that now in New Thought? The law of attraction. Dang, you're good. Yay, Yuli! The law of attraction. The law of attraction was recent. What you seek is seeking you is 13th century. The same thing. He was born the beginning of the 13th century, and he was born in what is now Afghanistan. I don't know what it was then, but it's now Afghanistan, and he decided to home himself in Turkey. And his philosophy enshrined the concept of a union with God. A union with God. Okay, so yeah, we're starting to see this. Everything is, these mystics wanted that union with God. He promoted the use of poetry, music, and dance as a way of reaching that supreme being. Sufis followed him. And who are our dervish whirlers? What were they called? The swirling dervishes. You guys all seen them? Okay. There she is. She's in the back swirling. And so we had the swirling dervishes of the Sufis. And they also came about in the 13th century. And I think that you can still see them now. And they even have classes you can go to. But anyway, so they would swirl around and around with these beautiful skirts. And they would have the conduit would be coming through them. They were a conduit. And they would have one hand up. And the one hand was accepting this beautiful essence of spirit. And then they had the other hand down. And it was bestowing these beautiful blessings. Yeah. So dance. How many of y'all get out there on the dance floor and you just knock it out? That's right. You knock it out because you're just feeling it. You're feeling the happiness. You're feeling the joy. You're feeling good. What is it that we're feeling when we're feeling the happiness and the good and the joy? We're feeling love. We're feeling spirit. We're feeling bliss. We're feeling all that stuff. Okay, next one. Lao Tzu. What do you think? Lao Tzu. Yeah, I got a thumbs up over here. As a matter of fact, Kelly does her Qigong classes, and every week they take a piece out of the Tao, and they review it, and they talk about it and how it pertains to their lives. This thing is choking me today. According to Lao Tzu's teachings, the Tao, or the way, is at the center of all life, conceived as the complete totality of existence. The way to mystical freedom is by way of letting go of conventional concerns and achieving union with the Tao. Once again, we are achieving union with the Tao, with the way, with spirit. Who said Mother Teresa? There you go, Mother Teresa. Now, this was an interesting gal, and I'm going to have to pick up her autobiography. She was one of a small group of saints, and I think she was canonized, who sought a union with God that was so intense that it exhausted the spirit and shook the foundations of her faith. She had dark nights with an S of the soul. Many dark nights of the soul. She loved Jesus. She loved Jesus. She was a Jesus girl. If you were hungry, she saw Jesus, and she was feeding Jesus. And if you were tired and you needed a place to rest, she gave Jesus a place to rest. If someone was suffering, she helped Jesus through their suffering. That's what she saw. Like I see in each one of you, I see that spark of the divine. Each one of you, it's our spiritual DNA. We came from it, so it has to be in us. Sometimes it just gets covered up, right? Doesn't it? Now we got to uncover it. A little bit of work, another story. So this is what she did. She prayed to join Jesus' suffering on the cross. She prayed to join Jesus' suffering on the cross. She wanted to fully partake and drink of his chalice of pain. That's how she was. She was so there with Christ. And just like Jesus the Christ on the cross cried out to his Father, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" She at times felt that God was absent. Heaven was empty, and worst of all, that her own suffering seemed to account for nothing. After everything that she had done, everything seemed to account for nothing. She finally realized that she got the answer to prayer. That the agony of doubt and desolation was a way of sharing Christ's passion. We be careful what we pray for. She did. She finally realized that all her doubt and all her suffering and all her anguish was what the Christ had felt as well. Yeah, wow. All right, next. Emma Curtis Hopkins. Y'all remember her? Yes, ma'am. Okay, yeah, we got that. She was a student of Mary Baker Eddy, who to me, I was raised a Christian Scientist, to me, she founded Christian Science, and she was a marvelous healing. She was a marvelous healer. She was badass. Boy, I'll tell you, she knew what she was doing, and she trained Emma Curtis Hopkins. They had a falling out, and they split up. And Emma Curtis Hopkins went on to found INTA, the International New Thought Association, which is still going strong today. She founded a lot of New Thought groups. She was the teacher of teachers. Emma Curtis Hopkins encouraged everyone to live life with a greater awareness of mystery and power of the universe as it is seen through the wisdom of Jesus Christ. Speaking of which, right? Who said Christ over here? Who said Jesus the Christ? Somebody said it. Yeah, when we're talking, yeah. All right, okay, here we go. You think he was a mystic? Yeah, man, that guy had those healing powers down. He spoke of a power transcendent, triumphant, absolute, positive, against which lesser laws meant nothing. What are examples of lesser laws? Lesser laws. Fear, anger, dis-ease, dysfunction, upset, resentment. Resentment's big. Jealousy, turmoil, envy, worry, lack. Wow. Because if Christ or any of the mystics or any of the healers believed in the truth of any of those, not that they are actually happening, but the truth outside of the light of spirit, then they wouldn't be able to heal. Christ was immediate. He knew already. By its very presence, he said, it heals. By its very presence, it heals. It meaning Spirit, Father, Mother, God. Source. Source, that's a great word. I think Wayne Dyer used to use source a lot. Yeah. All right. Now, I got one for you. Last one, I think. Paramahansa Yogananda. Y'all thought I was going to forget that one, didn't you? Yeah. So we are winding down, and this is my last saint that I'm going to talk about today. There are so many more. Class in a couple of weeks, we're talking about the saints. They're going to bring me their favorite saint, and I'm going to get to hear where their connection is with these saints, and I get to hear and learn more from the students. So excited about that. But Paramahansa Yogananda, he was born January 5th, 1893, Capricorn, right? He died March 7th, 1952, or made his transition, or, went on back home. He was an Indian yogi and guru who introduced millions of Westerners to the teachings of meditation and Kriya Yoga. You hear Reverend Belinda talk about that quite oftenly. So what I'm going to do, he's a founder of the Self-Realization Fellowship. Yeah, that was slightly important. The Self-Realization Fellowship, and he was the author of a lot of books, but his best book was Autobiography of a Yogi. Yeah. So he had his first mystical experience. So when you guys hear me talk about these mystical experiences, like, what is that? Other than sitting there in prayer, in deep love with spirit, and aligning yourself with it and being in it. Other than all that, what does a mystical experience look like? So usually I close my talks with a prayer from mostly Ernest Holmes, Raymond Charles Barker, sometimes I do one. But what I want to close with today is a mystic experience that Paramahansa Yogananda had, and it was in his book, Autobiography of a Yogi. So I want you all to understand, or maybe this will help you to understand the depth of consciousness that these mystics have experienced. So I'd like you all just to kind of close your eyes and just become present. If any of these words feel uncomfortable, this was not a psychedelic experience. I'm going to preface this. This was a spiritual experience for Paramahansa Yogananda. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes. And just to listen, you don't have to take them in. You do what you do, your higher self will tell you what. And follow my words as I begin. An oceanic joy broke upon the calm, endless shores of my soul. The Spirit of God, I realized, is exhaustless bliss. His body is countless tissues of light. A swelling glory within me began to envelop towns and continents, the earth, solar and stellar systems, tenuous nebulae, and floating universes. The entire cosmos, gently luminous, like a city seen afar at night, glimmered within the infinitude of my being. The sharply etched global outlines faded somewhere at the farthest edges. There I could see a mellow radiance, ever undiminished. It was indescribably subtle. The planetary pictures were formed of a grosser light. the divine dispersion of rays poured from an eternal source, blazing into galaxies, transfigured with ineffable auras. Again and again, I saw the creative beams condense into constellations, then resolve into sheets of transparent flame. By rhythmic reversion, sextillion worlds passed into diaphanous luster, and fire became firmament. I cognized the center of the Imperium as a point of intuitive perception in my heart. Irradiating splendor issued from my nucleus to every part of the universal structure. Blissful Amrita, the nectar of immortality, pulsed through me with a quicksilver-like fluidity. The creative voice of God I heard resounding as Om. 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 The vibration of the cosmic motor. Namaste.
All right, I don't know about you, but I had a tough time walking up to the stage just now. I'm still kind of trembling. Oh, okay, so coming back to Earth and into Cameron Park, back into the body. I could ohm all day. Okay, so it is now time for a joyous time of giving, and what you're going to see on the slides here, various ways that you can make this, help us make this all happen. We are supported by beautiful volunteers, and yet the lights need to stay on, and our website and our electricity and lights and rent and all these things that are kind of our earthbound responsibilities still need to be covered. And we have these beautiful messages, these speakers, these our sound people, and I'm still shaking. So you'll have to kind of excuse my maybe I think I might sign up for Mitch's class. Okay, so either way, we are here with you because of you and for you and with you. So please support our mission and vision through your tithes. And you saw today with what we did with Upper Room, and let's help each other lift each other up. So, all right, so let's now turn it over to Ascension, and it's time for our joyous time of giving. So the baskets will be coming around.
Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation, and light is all we see. Humble our differences, and love will set us free. Mother God, there's a healing going on. Father, Mother God, there's a healing going on. Father, Mother God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you're right.
Give it up for Ascension. Wow.
Who's going to pray now?
Amen, hallelujah. On behalf of the Amani Center, we truly and gratefully accept your tithes, your time, your love, and your prayers for the Amani Center, and knowing that these tithes, these times, all the volunteers, everything that we do here goes out to the world, out to the planet, and returns to us tenfold. And so it is.
All right, Father, Mother, God, jeez. The DeFore team has just brought it today. Okay, so it's time for us to come to close to the close of our service today. So please stand up, and you out there in the internet world where you are, let's do this. Let's join Ascension and sing "The Presence Is Here."
The presence is here. The presence is here. Love and spirit prevail on each face. The presence is here. Amen. The presence is here. And I will meet you in grace. And I will meet you in grace.
And so we just take the wonderful blessings that we are in each individual person. We take them, we move forward into life, into this week, knowing that we are loved, we are guided, we are directed, and we are supported. For this and so much more, great, sweet Amani, I just give great thanks. And together we say, and so it is.